Metal-heads.de.
Hallo Metalheads, hier ist mal wieder der Jörg. Wir sind heute in Köln im Art-Theater mit Esben the Witch. Thanks for having the time.
Pleasure.
And to be honest, I didn't know you before. I'm just here because of my girlfriend. You were recommended by Facebook. Then she said, we have to go there. I said, I looked at the logo and said, no, another death metal band. I don't know. Then I listened to the first song and I said, oh hey, that's something completely different. So, if you first could describe your band, your style.
It's changed a little bit over the years. Always quite a difficult question that. At the moment, I guess atmospheric, dark rock. Go with that.
You too?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's kind of changed a bit over the years. We've been making music for a while now. We're kind of interested in exploring dynamics like loud, quiet balances. So we like to have kind of quite mellow, finger-picked kind of parts, and with Rachel's more mellow vocals. And since Daniel started playing like a full drum kit, then we've started to expand the heavier parts as well. And yeah, I'd say atmospheric dark rock works, you know. Yeah.
When I listened to it, it sounded like sound landscapes, building up sound walls. It was really impressive. So, is that your intention when writing songs?
Yeah, I think it is actually, to create a kind of a landscape or certainly walls of noise. That's something that we're interested in when with other music. So when we come to write, to kind of, as Thomas just mentioned, to try and write something that's dynamic and has a journey to it, and hopefully takes people on a so people can have an experience while listening to it. So.
And how important are the lyrics for the songs?
Very important, I'd say. Yeah, something that, again, with other artists that we really admire. I think, I really appreciate it when people can really consider their own lyrics, and I think it combination with everything about our band, to create something that has the visual imagery with the lyrics that hopefully works along with the music, and the whole kind of world that we're trying to create.
And who's writing the lyrics? Only you?
Yeah.
Started out doing it a bit more, Daniel and I kind of writing some as well, but as Rachel's delivering the words, I think it's important to have a kind of clear message, like a kind of consistency to things like that. And it was slightly messy before, I think, when we were all doing it. And I think since like the last 8 years or something, Rachel's always been writing them, and it's been a much more successful process. That we all have some kind of hand in deciding the themes and the imagery that Rachel's going to write about, and then Rachel tends to just delve into some books and then come up with the words.
Okay, somewhere I read, or someone compared Rachel to PJ Harvey. So what do you think about it?
Oh well, I know Rachel likes PJ Harvey, so yeah, I mean, I find it almost impossible to kind of compare Rachel to a different musician. I have such a different relationship. I mean, as a kind of as the way that we go about making the songs, and I know in such detail the way Rachel goes about writing the lyrics and the time and thought that she puts into them and everything, that, and then also knowing the performance, sharing all these kind of experiences with her, it makes it pretty difficult to then objectively view her, you know, as a
Yeah. Thomas sees me asleep in the van for most days. So, yeah.
Glorious to alive. Do you ever have seen PJ Harvey live?
Yeah, many times, yeah.
I've seen it, I think, 2 years ago, here in Cologne. Great artist.
Yeah.
Okay, just to change the subject. What you like most about her?
About PJ Harvey? I think she has a lot of integrity as an artist, something I've always respected, that she has always had quite a strong vision per album, again, that changes. I think she's quite a chameleon in that respect. And when I was, 16 years old and started to get into alternative music, that it was really refreshing to see a woman wield a guitar like that and have that attitude and power and kind of sexiness on stage that so often, alternative heavy music inhabited by men. It was really refreshing to see a woman on stage like that.
She changed her style from the first album to the last. It's completely different.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm personally. I wish I could have seen her back in the day, with the earlier kind of the rawer sound. But yeah, no, I think she's great.
Totally. When I saw her here in Cologne, the bars were closed during the concert because she said no. The audience should concentrate on the stage and not go drinking and talking. Is that something you would do too, if you can?
I'd feel a little hypocritical saying that. I like a beer during a show, but I don't know. I understand. I understand where that's coming from. In a venue like this, it's there's not such issue with it. But when the bar is right by the stage, there's a quiet moment, and then someone's like throwing some found away or something. It's kind of into
the thing that bothers me most actually is phones. So I think that was something that I'd be keen to, if we ever got to a position where I felt that I could say that maybe everyone could just put their phones away for just like an hour, and then just watch rather than watch through a screen.
Yeah, last year was at Hailstorms, and Lizzie said, "Okay, now hold up your cell phones." In my days back, it was fire lighters.
Yeah.
Okay. On Facebook, I read you're from UK, but living in Berlin.
Yes.
So, why?
We toured quite extensively throughout Europe and spent some time in Germany and really liked it. And we'd been living in the UK, well, in Brighton in particular, for I'd been living in Brighton for 10 years. And it's quite a small place. Wanted to explore and try somewhere new, try a different city, and had a good music and art scene where we can also have a rehearsal space in Berlin that wasn't possible in Brighton really. Not so that's a huge thing, that we can have like a 24-hour rehearsal space. It's small, but it's ours. That was a big reason. So just to keep adventuring and exploring.
And do you fear the coming Brexit?
Do I fear it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's strange actually. Spending time back in the UK now, it's this kind of spectre. Even when people aren't discussing it, you can really feel it it's like lurking everywhere, this impending kind of upheaval. And I find it quite saddening, to be honest, like I'm sure a lot of people do.
Okay, I'm curious, how would you describe the difference between UK and Germany, if there are any?
Yeah, no, there definitely are, I think. God, it's difficult actually. You put me on the spot.
One thing I would say that I really feel is a bit different since I moved here is maybe people's sense of kind of protest is stronger. People, I don't know, and I think it's also to do with maybe these voices feels like they get listened to, but I think there's a much stronger sense of protest and social justice or whatever than in the UK. It tends to feel, and I feel, this mindset myself, I sort of was becoming more downtrodden and stuff. I find it quite inspiring actually meeting people here and speaking to them, especially touring in independent venues and stuff like that. You meet a lot of people who have a real spirit, which I really admire.
Okay, are there any favorite places in Germany beside Berlin?
I'm not just saying this because we're here, but I genuinely really like Cologne, and we have some friends here who play music, and they have a really great community within the black metal scene that I think is, again, as Thomas said, really inspiring and politically engaged in the way that we feel affiliated with. That's genuinely inspiring. We're playing in Leipzig soon. We're really looking forward to playing that venue as well. That again has a strong sense of history and community, and
As I told you earlier, alone in Cologne there are 15 or 20 clubs and venues. What is this like in Brighton or even in London?
London would be a similar thing. I mean, even Brighton is a small place, but there's a lot of venues, I would say. I mean, a problem happening in Brighton is a lot of the kind of bespoke venues are closing, and instead venues that are set up to be clubs or parties, then they are having an earlier show at everyone out by 10 o'clock, and sometimes these rooms are not built for shows. So I think that's kind of dispiriting. I think Brighton's a great place for music, but maybe there's a lack of actual. In the time that we were there, some great venues closed down that our friends were involved in, and London I know less about, having never lived there, but I think it's a bit more, like you say, 15 or 20 shows per night and a lot of competition for everyone's attention.
Okay, lucky Cologne. I think we're running late. You were delayed for the sound check, so
Yeah, that was us.
I
Sorry.
will try to finish here. And so the last word is always to the artist. Who wants to say the last words of this interview?
Well, yeah, we're really looking forward to playing Cologne tonight, and pleasure to be here. Cool.
Metal-heads.de.